Okay, so this next one that we're going to do here is we're going to look at the start of an iteration. So we've done these in the series already. Now we're going to look at actually starting an iteration, both from a management standpoint and then also a developer standpoint. So what we have here, we set up the initial backlog last time, and here we are looking at that backlog. Remember, backlog is anything that hasn't been assigned a version, and anything in the backlog should not be assigned a version and should not be assigned a developer. So now we're going to look through here and we're going to assign issues to an iteration. So how do we know how many issues to assign to an iteration? Well, again, we have to go back and look at our kind of contract. And so if we look back at our kind of contract here, the client wants two full-time senior devs and a part-time junior dev. That tells us how many effort points we should be shooting for. This is an estimate. As the project goes along, we get a better feel for how many effort points we can do in a week, which is an iteration. But at first, we have to rely strictly on the estimation. So in this case, and actually this was because I was fudging around, this client is part in the Gunner Launchpad program, so they have one full-time dev and one full-time senior dev and one part-time junior dev. So what we're looking at here is a full-time senior dev averages about 30 points an iteration, and a full-time junior dev has 15, so a part-time has 8. We round up. So that's 38 effort points that we can assign to this iteration. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to act as the sole developer just for sake of simplicity here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to find 38 effort points in order and assign them to an iteration. Since it's a new project, we certainly want to get account management set up. So we're going to say register for an account, reset my password, confirm my email address, log out. So let's assign those to an iteration. Let's go target version, and then the name of the iteration is just the week. So we're going to put this in 2019 05 28. So then if we scroll down here, we have this new iteration set up, which we have effort point 7. So we have 31 more to put in there. So basically what we do is we look through some account management since we're in that epic, and we look at some stuff that we can tackle without any other outside influences. So we have account management. I want to select my favorite team. We have account management. Let me see what else we have here. I'm gonna go ahead and move that over to the iteration. Where else do we have account management? Okay, we're not going to put this one in here because we don't even have the payment processor lined up yet, so we can't do that. Same thing with this one. We're going to skip all of the pay stuff for right now. Okay, so 14060 we can do. 14059 14059 we can do. We can so the user can edit details about themselves. Is there any other account management stuff? Not really. So let's move this over. Target version. Put that in the iteration. And so now we're at 19 points. So we have about 19 more to go. So so basically, we're going to look at seller rating. And so there's one in here for, okay, a 1-star rating. This means just basically anyone who signs up gets a 1-star rating. So that's could be part of the sign up process. We're going to put that in this iteration as well. Now we should be at 21. So then what we can do here is we're looking for stuff about posting a ticket here. So okay, so as a user, I want to agree to seller terms so I can start selling tickets as a prerequisite to it. And these are all have to do with posting the ticket. Okay, that's payment. Okay, so let's assign those to this iteration and see what we got. We're at 55. So we should take a little bit out so we're not setting ourselves up for failure. Let's take the picture out. What else? We're down to 51. We should get to about 38, around there. What else do we have? This one, I think we need clarification. I'm going to take out right now. And putting it back to none puts it back in the backlog. So that's 43, and we should be at 38. So that's pretty good. So then at this point, you go through and you pick an assignee and assign it to each person on the team that you want to. So I'm not going to do that now because this is just a practice exercise. But you would assign each ticket to whomever is actually going to work on it, and then the iteration starts. That's from a project management standpoint. From a developer standpoint, we follow the GunnerTech README for Gunnerfy, which let me just show you right here. Oops. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow the start of the iteration. So basically, as we talked about in previous episodes, we have this idea of a base stage where everything is submitted to. So what we're going to do is, if we look at our branches, we have staging and we have Cody. So we're going to get checkout staging, which is our base stage. And so I checked out staging. And now I'm going to actually have to do this first. And so then I'm going to get pull. What get pull does is it pulls down all the changes from the last iteration. Now this is the first iteration, so it's just going to say already up to date. But this pulls down everyone else's changes, which were merged into the staging branch last time. So now I have an up-to-date staging branch. So what I'm going to do now is get check out my branch, and then I'm going to merge with staging. And now my branch has all the latest changes. The last thing I'm going to do is make sure Amplify knows which stage we're working on by doing Amplify env checkout staging, and Amplify env checkout Cody. There we go. Now I'm ready to start my iteration, and that is how we started iteration at Gunner Technology.